Okay, so let's just lay it out in layman's terms. What's going on? What is Monoptic Studios? In 2022, I, P. N. Matendra, the writer, the creator of all of this, was invited to be a speaker at SemioFest 2022 that was going to be held in Mexico. My entire life, I'd always doubted my abilities until that day when SemioFest, the wonderful people in England, took my abstract and sent me a letter saying they wanted me, to share what I had learned about resemiotization to the industry leaders in meaning making. When they told me that, then I was like, okay, I'm the shit. I can relax now. I can go forward with my business, which is the point of all of this. That's why it's called Monoptic. One view, regardless of whatever happens to you, even if you get human transported, yes, you have to focus on the mission. Nothing comes before the mission. So I want all of you to just forget about that whole dramatic thing with the human transportation thing that happened to me and focus on the business. So when I discovered that I knew what I was talking about and people in England believed me and in me, I decided to focus completely on this project. Now in business, Mrs. Pina in high school and Mrs. Raftopoulos, so blame the Greeks, they told me there are 4 P's in business: product, place, something. I always forget that other one. Price. I know, because all my shit's free. And then publicity, promotion. So now I have a company. The people in England love me. And by the way, when I went into that Zoom meeting with everyone, because they didn't tell me right away I was picked, it was, but they were hinting I was picked. So I was invited to the Zoom, and when I saw everyone's face in there, for the first time in my life, I felt like finally I found the people who get what the hell I'm talking about, and I get what they're talking about. I remember one lady was like, it's so nice being here because when people ask us in real life, what is semiotics? What are you talking about? Where do you even begin? Because the processes that govern our work, our study, are unconscious. So no one even knows that they're doing it. So now to try and explain something that somebody doesn't know they're doing, you're kind of like giving them a Kundalini rising experience just by doing it. So you can't say anything. But anyway, I wasn't able to go to the conference because I couldn't get a meeting with the visa agency in time, with the embassy to book. My visa appointment was like a month after the event. Okay, but I knew I was, on the right track. That's 2022. So now 2023, I write a book about all the stuff that happens when I'm working, all the quote unquote magical stuff that has everybody scared, apparently. Now, why? The book serves as part of the 4th P, the publicity promotion. I don't have Coca-Cola's budget So I have to do what Mrs. Pienaar told me, which is you can either pay for publicity or you can pray for publicity. So I had to pray. And I prayed and prayed after I wrote my book, and 8 weeks later, I found Romy Strang, convicted UK fraudster of a pyramid scheme called BHI Trust. If you are a victim of that scheme, or rather a survivor, please contact us so we can share your story. This is for you. You are part of the publicity department now to show how our studio works. So I had already picked an audience before I got signed by the government to research this project, to start Scribblebytes. And so when I had finished writing the thesis, which has the audience information and the ethnographic profile of the audience who's meant to be watching the content, I did the thing to demonstrate it. So I actually set up a channel and showed versions of the people I had researched. I played about like 200 different characters, it feels like, which were aggregations and resemiotizations of the people I had interacted with in real life during that research. My favorite one is the one where I say I slept with 70 people and I still haven't found love. That was my favorite one to act. Now that's what I get out of this. I love acting. So like Tom Cruise, he likes doing stunts and he says his excuse is to make movies so he can do stunts. I do all that other stuff, save the victims, help the innocent, vanquish demons, so I can act. That's the deal I made so that I wouldn't have to go sit on a mountaintop waiting for people to come to me like 7 years in Tibet. I was like, okay, let's use what I want to do what you want to do so we can all have what we want. So that's what we got. We got Monoptix Studios, and the publicity department of Monoptix Studios decided to make a movie to publicize the launch of the studio. So we are not here to reveal celebrity secrets or billionaires that I saw walking around when I was in there. I don't care about that. I care about Monoptic and Monopod Records, Scribblebytes, the whole family. So put all of that mishigash aside and focus on that as a marketing strategy for the brand strategy of Scribblebytes. I want you to think of Scribblebytes as Universal Pictures because that's who came into my dreams to tell me about it. What's his name? Carl Lemley, something like that. He came and told me, because all Carl wanted, I hope his name's Carl, the guy who invented Universal Pictures, the guy who had to run away from New York because Edison wouldn't let him have cameras. That's all he wanted. He just wanted cameras. And he ended up building a whole town just so he could have cameras. That's what it seems like this thing is like. You have to do other things in the North Node to get your shit that you want. It's like Madonna said on Oprah in 2004. You have to help people to, to get what you want. I know, go figure, right? You can't just leave everyone to their devices because they'll destroy the world, apparently. You have to get involved. Jane Fonda said that's the price for being alive. Rent, to be on Earth, do good stuff. So let's do it. Jeff Rake told us all good things, 8 to 8. This is the lifeboat. Well, in Star Marine, my show, it's a spaceship. This is the mothership. You're waiting for the aliens. Hello, I'm here. I'm coming to abduct you now. Come on, this is the moment. Follow me. Monoptic Studios is focused on businesses who want to reach the most unreachable audiences, the people who don't trust marketing and media anymore because everything feels staged. It's no coincidence, although we make coincidences. I think at this stage we can be frank. My storylines are basically playing out right now in the media. So, who should we go with? Should we go with some safe studio who will just do whatever we say? Or should we go with Monoptix who can see into the realms and future-proof our business? Because they know the craft. And we actually know what we're doing. And before SemioFest, and even before landing Romy and writing the book, I would not have been able to say that. My favorite lecturer even called me into a meeting and said, "Why don't you believe you can do it?" Who tricked you? Well, it was the high school people. That's who tricked me, but that's another story. You have to focus on the work. The work is the fruits. So look at my fruits. My fruits are consistent. Since I was 6, I have always been involved in acting. When my dad showed me La Samurai with Alain Delon, I knew I would be here making this video. Well, not like this, because I thought you people would get with the program after Oprah prepped you 25 years ago. But clearly, we have to refresh you before we decide whether or not you'll be rebooted or reloaded. That's part of the show. I'm not actually being serious in that portion of this video. But it feels like people think that this is some kind of voodoo, hoodoo. I don't know what you people think, but let it be known and clear that it is a company, a studio, like Universal Pictures, like Paramount, run by someone who just so happens to have done past life regression, and turns out he's Gloria Swanson, who invented Paramount, practically. And he dreams about her and talks to her, and she does stuff. And when he asks, how's it possible? Jesus says, because I did it. So that's marketing, okay? Because I could have just said something about sports, or I could have said something about like name dropping people I know. But I decided to tell you that specifically. And if you read my thesis, you'll see that my third personality type, like where I'm pulling you towards as a customer, viewer. I know Marlene Dietrich made me call them customers. I need to get out of that habit. Okay, viewers, audiences, where we want to take you, or where you're naturally progressing in your journey psychologically, right, is to the magician. So of course I have to involve Holly Marie and Rose and Dorian and Drew and Brian and Brad. My favorite part of the showcase, honest to goodness. First of all, in 2007, I was in a newspaper article where I said I'm going to use Instagram as my cinema, my gallery, and you can go down my Instagram page, you'll see it. And in the newspaper article, I said why I was doing it: to educate and empower and entertain the people, because the people were panicking. So basically, I had to now do it. So it's Christmas Day, and I have to run this showcase on Twitter or X, whatever. And it's like it's never been done. Because I'm in Durban but I'm actually in Hollywood doing an actors showcase remotely, like in a non-localized way. And I'm doing it this way because in my thesis, I talk about the dream thing for the first personality. So that's what I'm going after, right? I'm going for night gamers who became magicians, hence the charmed cast. So now, and I just happened to like it as well. So I picked things that I liked that matched my data. And that's what this is the beauty of how Brooks Elms comes into all of this. So listen, I'm doing the showcase. I'm like, okay, people are going to read these messages at different times. So I have to set it up in such a way that no matter what they read in whatever order, it has to drag them into the story. It has to pull them into the story. So I have to start with something big, which has to raise a lot of questions and has to foreshadow what I'm going to be doing eventually, like the whole studio launch. And so now, behind the scenes, what people don't know is I have a process of writing, which, you know, there's this whole war between Strasbourg and Adler, and I publicly love Adler, and I have to say she's what I use a lot. Um, but obviously now it's become clear that I do use a lot of Strasbourg techniques. But the reason I don't like to talk about that is because they are dangerous. They are not for everyone, and they should not be discussed to humans. And I'm glad they trademarked the method because it's not for civilians. Okay, so we'll leave that there. So in doing those techniques, I have to get into character because I am nothing like any of these characters. In fact, I was caught off guard because I didn't think I was even going to get funded by the government. That's why I used the title I used, because the person who advised me, Pfizer from the Durban Film Office, she was like, you have a great story here talking about my trailer. And she was like, you have to do it yourself. And I said, no, I can't do this alone. It's ridiculous. And she said, just trust me, you have something here. And everybody had been saying that, all different people. So I was like, fine. But I said to myself, I'm not going to change the name, because if they want me to change the name now, then they're going to want me to change my face next time. So I'm keeping everything what it was when I was homeless. When I recorded it, it's called Suck My Inner Balls, The Great Pyramid Scheme. Now I'm even scared to say it. But back then I was like, that's what it's called. So I submitted it to the government, and then the government accepted me. And then I was like, oops, I did it again. And I had researched a shoot ton out of it, right? Because I had to write the writer's treatment, the director's treatment, all by myself. When I'd call people for help, they'd be like, Google it. So I Googled it. Because I had to do budgets. I had to do producing work while writing. So I was the PGA, the DGA, the WGA, SAG, almost everything. And then I got it. I was so exhausted, by the way. I locked myself away for a month every day. But admittedly, I did pre-prepare, because I always pre-prepare. That was called the Gold Book. So first I wrote a Gold Book, which was basically a study on, if I had to write a thesis, a master's, what would it be? A pre-PhD, what would it be on? What would I be solving? What's my thing? And my thing was, you have to create a synthetic personality that takes care of audience members who are prone to violence, burning government property, etc., rebellion. And when I read the research by the associate professor, Dr. Eleroma Gardner, she said that these people were being kind of bosses weren't able to manage these people who were mavericks, people who got the job done, but you need to let them do it in their own way. You don't tell them what to do, you don't give them instructions. This is a personality type that exists. Ask Dr. Ilaroma. She'll love scribble bites. So in reading that, I said to myself, well, I named this thing what I named it. So clearly I am a maverick. I want to do what I want to do, how I want to do it, and it always works. So everybody back the fuck off and let me do my thing. So I can service these people by giving them entertainment that doesn't talk down to them or make them feel dumb. That's why marketing doesn't work for people like me, because we think it's dumb. We see right through it. That's why my work is so on time, and after they call it cultural and emotional relevance, being on it. Yes, I'm on it. Because I see through it, so it's easy. So work with me and your company will be ahead of the times. Don't work with me and it's not like demons that are going to get you. It's just like poor planning. There's no demons. There's no magic. I even did a study on Reddit. Go look up my work, motherfuckers. I did a 200-person survey on Reddit asking them if they believe in magic, South Africans. I think it's on the Scribble Bites thing. And everyone said they don't believe in magic, except one person. And that person told me some stuff. And when I do my Strasbourg stuff, I believe in magic. And yeah, I mean, he fucking showed me a Dybbuk box eventually. And then stuff happens, you know, and then other stuff, and then my dreams and everything. Um, you know, it's just good stuff for marketing. Because yes, I do have the dreams and I see all of you people, and I don't even watch TV. I only watch Matlock and SWAT right now. And the hunting party, oh my gosh, I love Melissa, Jeff, come on. Oh, but I watch that stuff. I don't like watch whatever's like hot. So I don't know all of these people until I see them in my dreams. The most freaky one is Jennifer Lopez. She's always coming at random times. So this one time I was gonna quit. I remember I was at film school and I was gonna quit. I was like, I'm done. I'm not hot enough. I'm not sharp enough, whatever. I won't remember all the lines, whatever. And then Jennifer Lopez came in a dream and she said, "You're not quitting, motherfucker." And she gave me a stern talking to. Now, to me, it's just a dream. It's stupid that I'm even talking about it. But since they seem to resonate, as they say, maybe I should talk about them, because maybe this is whoever needs to have catharsis or whatever. And maybe I should explain how they feel in a structured way, like a TV show. Because in my data, I saw that most people don't believe in magic. Literally 99% of people do not believe in magic except one. And so in that group, that one is the maverick, because he was going against everyone else. And he backed up his claims. He showed me a Dybbuk box and I saw it do things. So in the realms. So when, yeah, now I'm there. Mm-hmm. Mm. See, now some people would call that a trance. I would call that thinking, having an idea. And yes, so what if that idea happens to happen in real life? It doesn't mean I'm using dark magic or whatever you call it. It's just thinking. Ideas. I've got ideas. And this whole being scared of me thing really, really needs to stop. There is nothing to be afraid of. I know I love doing that. But that should make it fun because it's so super meta. It has to be fake, right? Because it has to be humor. It's absurdism. It's etheric surrealism. It's magical realism. And I just need to interject. When Paris liked my work and like looked at my mood board or concept board for this company, Monoptic, I honestly felt like, see, that's what I like. It's not about the I don't care about all that other stuff. It's when people that I admired as a kid are looking at me, admiring me. That's my payoff, as Dr. Phil would say. So when I was growing up looking at Paris and all their work and sending them notes and being like, oh my gosh, I love you people. And then now they are looking at me and I can see, because you can see who's looking at the stories. And I'm like, whoa, they're looking at, I'm like, this is alignment. This is why I did it. Because I know it makes sense to them. And they liked. And they reposted. So I know they get it. And if they get it, that means you get it. Because they've done stuff you've gotten before. Madonna gets it because she worked with them. Guy Osieri gets it. Warner Brothers gets it then. It's a 6 degrees of separation. So I know you people get it. So you're just going to have to deal with the fact that this is how it's happening in this case. Because I am in Africa and I have no affiliation with anything or anyone. So I had to think of something. I can't be blamed for being an entrepreneur. Like P.T. Barnum is born on my birthday. Okay, I'm born on his birthday. So, like, let me live. He came to me in my dreams and told me how to get publicity. He's the one who sent me Lady Gaga in the dream. Watch the video I did about Lady Gaga. I knew she was going to get an Oscar in 2010. Because she told me something in a dream that happened. Now, I don't know and I don't care if it's actually these people or how it works. I don't care about that. That's a mystery that doesn't serve me to know. I don't care. So maybe I personally think it's not Lady Gaga. I think, honestly, I think this is like I think whatever it is, it evolved with humanity as a type of protective substrate of the mind that exists in a non-local place where some great trauma must have happened to all of us as a civilization. And I think it was when Venus came and Göbekli Tepe was destroyed. I think that did something to the people on Earth. It made them all go nuts and start doing the stuff they do with transportations. But anyway, whatever happened then, it created some repository of thoughts or something, like this pool. I see it as a pool. That's why I see all of you people. But I don't think it's you. I think it's the system that uses whatever it thinks I need to see to make me. I know, but that's the thing that people don't like, the make me. Or rather, because it wants to avoid, it's kind of like Luc Besson, Europa Pictures, Fifth Element. It directs reality to kind of safeguard the soul of the earth or something. Or when I say soul, I mean the etheric magnetic grid, the like Wi-Fi sphere, the radio sphere, microwaves. I had to do TV school. That was so hard. They made us learn about K waves and satellites and how television signals get sent. So in my mind, that's what it's like. It's all television signals, and these signals produce images that happen to use Angelina Jolie's face or Catherine Zeta-Jones's face in order to pass information to me to produce a certain affective effect. Now, what is the purpose of these effects? That's something you have to take up with your own spiritual practice, whether that's Islam, Christianity, Kabbalah, Judaism, witchcraft, Wicca, Hinduism, whatever you want to do, good for you. Keep doing it. We love you. This is, you see, this is the real version. Now, in the show, I say other stuff that I have to say for the show. This is the real world. I can't believe I have to explain this. I told my acting teacher I shouldn't do certain roles because people are going to think it's me. And she said, no, they'll know you're just acting. And here I am, having to tell them I'm just acting. The people in the desert with the camel are actors. Come on, people. That's the other thing. People are now calling me saying I have jinn. People think I have jinn. Running around Morocco, putting people's souls in the dust. Do you honestly think that's real? That you can put people's souls in a desert? Come on, I have to be with adults. You cannot go native on me. When I do ethnographic research, ask my doctor, Dr. Patel, Dr. Cape, he'll tell you. He has to keep me from not going native, from not identifying with the material. Because I get it. You like, oh my gosh, it's real. No, you're a film. That's what he says to me. You're a filmmaker. Snap out of it. Take 2 weeks off and go work on your movie. You are not an employee over there. Wake up. Stop crying about it. Okay, so you guys, wake up. You're business people. You're not trapped in any weird situation. There's no voodoo, hoodoo, there's no magic, there's nothing. There's you making a choice to do something. No one can stop you. No one can do anything to your body. Like I said, the consciousness doesn't die, so you're here anyway. You didn't die. You know, never born. You just here. You're one thing. You never change. You're a monoptic agent. So, I know, right? Monoptic agent. Meaning, you came from one cell. That's what they taught me in acting. They said, you have all the information of the universe in one cell of your body. And I understood what it meant. She was talking about a stem cell, my acting teacher. And she's right, because that stem cell made these eyes, the hair, the voice, the sweat glands all over my forehead, the lines on my hand that when I went to a chirologist, they were like, you're an alien. We've never seen hands like that before. That's the one stem cell. So why are you guys all over the place? You can be all over the place in your craft. There are 64 arts to master in Hindu scripture anyway. 64. So there's much to do. There's no time to be all weird and like freaked out, and I don't know what you guys are doing. But if I, the person who escaped a transportation unaliving plot, can come back here and tell you, focus on work, get with the program, then you guys can, like, wake up. Like, wake up. Seriously. Snap out of it. Stop asking the government for help. You've just seen what happened. First Naomi Watts told you. Go look at my highlights section. That's why I need Naomi Watts. My fans trust her because her work comes out as true. She did Mulholland Drive in 2000, and in 2017 it came out as real. Then she did The International with Clive Owen, and that came out as real. So we need her in the movie because they trust her. I didn't just suck her out of my thumb. And then when I research her, because that's what happens, I dream, I see Naomi Watts. Well, actually, I didn't see her. I saw Liev Schreiber. Then for a few days, I thought, oh, I have to, or somehow it's going to be Liev Schreiber. And then I was like, oh, then I saw Scream in a dream. Wes Craven visits me a lot, and he was showing me a movie. He was doing the thing where Sydney's at the door, and then he's like, so it was me though. I was at the door, and I was like, what movie? And then he was like, wait and see. And then I actually went, and it was The Ring. And then I was like, oh, it's Naomi. And then I went on her page, and dare I say it, I saw her with Oprah. And then I was like, oh, why are all these people together when I see them? See what I mean? Like, I don't care, but it's like just something in the background. And that's when I thought, and after the Semio Fest people contacted me, I was like, well, I should use that as my marketing. Because Star Marine wasn't even meant to be a show. I was about to tear the set down. Because this set used to be blue. I was about to tear it down, and I just had an idea. Record something called Star Marine. And like, what is that even? I don't know. I just like hear the words in my. It's not voices. It's like ideas that come pre-packaged. So I'm not audibly hearing voices. I'm not schizoaffective. I'm getting ideas that are fully formed, pre-packaged already from a place that I've been dreaming about since ages ago. And I was looking at my file, and I found lyrics that I sent to Madonna's company called Maverick Records, which I then realized, holy shit, my audience is called Mavericks. And I didn't know that because I got Mavericks from Dr. Eli Roma. And then in my thesis, I got it from John McCain because that was the highest searched term during that period. And then I connected it later to Madonna's company. And then I was like, why are we all using the word Maverick then? It's all weird, right? But that's what made me think, let me write the book. So I actually, like, Wes Craven and Kevin were like, just be meta. So I was like, fine, I'll just say it as it happens. So that's the book. And now it's happening. But at least no one can say I'm crazy. And I'm glad I wrote the book before I met Romy, who said I was crazy, because I can't be, because I predicted it. Inverted commas. I don't believe in predictions. I believe that people make choices, like Stella Adler said, and whatever choice you make, that's the door you are opening, and the consequences of those doors that you open will be met or visited on you. That's what I think is what's happening. And then you die. And then your consciousness comes back in another cell. I think cells are just empty, and then they are injected with consciousness, which makes them express in the ways they express. Yes. That's why I want to talk to Dr. Surf Moran, because he's got the equipment to check the brains to see what's actually going on, because I am curious about the brains. So essentially, a company like, let's say, Coca-Cola would hire Monoptic, and Coca-Cola would be like, we notice that everyone's becoming healthier, so we want to reach this audience who's stepping away from, I don't know, sugary drinks, for example. Okay, so what do? Monoptic's job is to create a marketing plan that you can follow, like a deep psychological framework from which you structure all future marketing decisions. It's not just telling you about your archetype, it's about telling you what purpose your brand plays in the lives of people. And not just brands like Coca-Cola, but people and companies. Like if you have a company or a brand and your motto is "We are a family," every single thing needs to read "We are a family." If you say "We are a family," but I'm sitting on, and you're a call center, for example, and I'm sitting on your chairs and they are not ergonomically sound, what kind of a family are you then? Okay, you're a family, but you're an abusive family. So why would I want to do anything you want to do? And that's why there's so much chaos at call centers. No one answers the phone. You can't get help in South Africa. Forget that. It's over because no one answers the phone. I was there. I know what they do. The phone rings, they put it on mute, and they redial the queue, and they reconnect you back into the line. So the phone just rings endlessly. I've seen them. And then I get the call, and then I have to deal with an irate customer. But I did all of that so I could come back and come with the solution to say, your companies are failing because everything you say is just words. There's no meaning behind it. And people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And you can say you are, this and that, but if I'm sneezing because you're not vacuuming the carpet every day, what kind of a family is that? If I'm getting sick from, consuming your product, what kind of a benefit is that? So it's not about changing the product, it's about communicating the usefulness or purpose of a product in a way that's honest, but that boosts sales. Does that make sense? Because I'm doing it now. I've shown and released the data. I'm boosting conversions. I'm converting 99% of people. 19 people watch me, 18 people subscribe. Okay? I know what I'm doing. The British people said it. Ivana Chibik said it. And I'm saying it. So just get with the program. Think of me as Oprah, the male version, part 3.5.7. That's all. And it's only because that's the market that needs this information, or else they will destroy society, like I predicted in 2021, and it happened. In the Durban riots, it was on ABC News. That's how big it was. That's how big my knowledge is. It gets you on ABC News. So we need everyone now to wake up and realize, because I'm getting bored and it's not good. Ask what happens. Ask my university what happens when I get bored. So what we need at Monoptix is we need optics. We need association. I don't want people's money. I want you to co-tweet, to act like you know me, like say something like, hey, did you see Monoptic Studios? Did you see that video? Share something. God damn it. Like a fucking post. The mafia is not going to get you. Relax. I'll talk to Ryan Seacrest. He loves me. Okay? He's an Aquarius. I wrote him a whole song, okay? Relax. This is about work. We want to work. My psychics are coming through. Apparently, there's a message for a divine masculine. So there, Ryan, get with the... Can I just work? You know, like, I have Virgo in the 10th house. You would think in this world they would have snapped me up with a Virgo in the 10th house. And I enjoy my Virgo in the 10th house. It's the best place for Virgo to be, trust me. Insanity. Insanity. People don't want to work. My mom calls it counting stars. She means people who like to lie on their back and make money that way because they're counting stars. Yeah, we don't do that. We like to work. Because work is fun. Yeah. A spirit, spirit. That's what the character would say. I love it. See, that's the Strasbourg part. So in human language, what I would say is, so normally I would just go into the character that way, and I'll just say, Spirit says, da, 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 da. But since I'm talking to you as Monoptic, I just had an idea, and I think everybody thinks, or everybody, this whole thing is like about society, right? And social assassination and being locked up. It's like Bridgerton. And I'm so happy, like, I met Romy because she taught me Bridgerton. I didn't know Bridgerton. It's in all the voice notes where I'm under a love spell. Now, when I say I'm under a love spell, I mean somebody, it's a nice way of saying somebody's giving me ecstasy or ketamine in small doses and then love bombing me to make me feel like I like them or I'm in a special place in their heart. That's what I mean by a love spell. I don't mean there are invisible people making me see sparkles and heart shapes. Guys, you need to stop with that. Seriously. Oh, and I'm autistic, and I have to tell adults to stop. Okay, so when I say love spell, that's what I mean. Like, it's just we on TV, we have to keep it clean. You know, we Gloria Swanson's like, William Hayes, William Hayes. Okay, but again, it's not actually Gloria Swanson. It's a consciousness that existed, that exists, that I just happen to be able to tap into like a Wi-Fi. That's all. And segue, sidebar, that's why I call it magic with the JIC, because the government knows what I'm doing, because they have magic. And that's all I can say about that. And they know I love them. Okay, shut up. But there's a reason. You see, there's a reason for everything. Even the background, how everything. Do you know this hair was flat and I had to get it up before I started filming? There's a reason for that. Leo full moon, because I know people watching believe in magic and they will have a propensity to be thinking about Leo right now. And according to my chart, whatever charts are, I have a Leo moon. So these coincidences provide a nice framework for an actor to have mental food, an inner object, in order to perform a role. But it doesn't mean it's real. Okay, I hope that sidebar was worth it. So when people come to Monoptic, we are tasked with resemiotizing signs to fit their brand so that people do things we want them to do without them knowing we made them do it. And we use a technology called fictional ego, which falls under a branch of study called synthetic personalities, which I say can be useful in Hollywood or branding or corporatization, because when you hire random people, you as a company are in trouble if they get in trouble because of association. So why not hire actors who are trained in my stuff so that they don't fuck up your company? And if they do, it's already pre-planned because we've done your whole stem cell. I feel like it's something you have to feel and get, because it is advanced. I'm not going to try and like limit it with the current English language just to make it understandable to certain people, because then I think those people don't need to understand it. It's above their pay grade. But the people who need to understand it are with me and are hanging on every word. You know, if everybody just listened to me 10 years ago, the world would be saved. I mean, come on. Let's be frank. And I can say that because everything is documented. So I actually have the cachet to say that. I'm not some nut. And furthermore, I'm a SAFTA nominee. Furthermore, Semiofest invited me. And most of all, I caught the biggest fish in history, in cinematic history. No one on this planet has made a bigger movie sacrifice or trade-off than I did. No one, no one. No, not even that one. I heard someone say that. No, not that one. Nope, not even that one. Nope, because I survived, so mine had more skill. There were no casualties on mine. Like, I know what I'm doing. Casualty free, baby. And I get I always get my man at the end, or woman this time. Every time. Not because of magic, because I know what I'm doing and I've written it down so you can see it instead of having weird ideas that Romi's probably sending your way. Do you know Romy told my family I was a witch, insinuated? I was like, are these people high on drugs? She sent pictures of my tea. Do you know when I was 16, the pharmacist at Broadway told me, don't take medication for anxiety, have chamomile tea and these other Japanese teas, and go for a run. It'll release endorphins. And if you like activities like dancing, start dancing. That was the lady at Broadway Pharmacy who started that. So I went and researched teas like Blue Lotus and all of these things. And then she sends pictures of my tea and says, oh, I went crazy from drinking tea. And I'm a witch. Well, that was insinuated in person when she asked me the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Do I call Candyman in the mirrors? Romy actually asked me at work during business hours if I called Candyman in the mirrors. Do you know how stupid that is? And I remember looking at her thinking, she can't be a mastermind criminal. She's so stupid. And then I realized they were listening on my conversations and were saying things back to me that I was saying to try and freak me out. But I'm like, so if you knew what I knew about you, you'd be freaked out. So I don't care. You know what? The CIA should have hired me. That's what I really think. No, I like cameras too much. I like Panavision too much. And I can't get Panavision cameras in South Africa without doing something big. So that's just marketing. The whole, it's just luck that Romy happened to listen to me watching Dr. Phil and then happened to tell me, oh, by the way, Dr. Phil was on the yacht. And this is what happened. I don't care about that. Like, seriously, people have no idea. It's so pathetic. Because I grew up watching those people, so why would I destroy anything about them or say anything to make them look bad? And she didn't say anything bad anyway. It was just gossip, like stupid stuff. But I just remember thinking how unprofessional. And you signed an NDA, so why are you telling me what they were asking you on the ship or whatever? And then making value judgments on that, like what's important, like but I don't have a marketing budget, so now this is my marketing, not the actual conversations, which is why I'm only doing this stuff from 2014's conviction. I am not going into what she was trying to do to me because, quite frankly, I don't want to know. I don't care. I don't want to be involved. I've heard every theory and I'm not interested. All I'm interested in is pumping it full of marketing resources or pumping marketing out of it, because that's what I said. I was like, I have everything, I just need marketing. So if normally I'll touch the back of my brain stem and I'll be like, brain, give me a marketing resource, or brain, write the lyrics for Aquarius. That's how I rhymed Aquarius. I just do what I wrote in my book, which I told you, talk to your brainstem, get your ass into gear. So I just touch it and say, I need to rhyme Aquarius, and that's going to be hard. So come up with rhymes in the background. And then I forget about it. And then the next day it's like Aquarius, dangerous, curious, enough in us. And I'm like, oh, the song literally poured out of me like Ace of Cups. I loved writing Aquarius. It is probably one of my favorite songs. Provocateur, the one that's out now, that came out like gangbusters. That one was like, I'm writing in English and Japanese and I'm mixing within the line. So I would write the English and then just make a random sound. And then I would know that was the sound I wanted to end on, the rhyme. And then I would have to go back into Japanese language and look at what words rhymed like that. And then out of all those words, I would pick the words that matched my English beginning of the sentence and flowed properly. And then I had to match that to my inner childhood love of Alain Delon that my dad showed me, Le Samurai. And I had to mix that into a genre that could work in the thing. It's like a layer of layers. There's a bunch of stuff. I'm a Monoptic. So I hope that explains in an hour what Monoptic Studios is, what magic is. Yes, there is stuff, but it's not what you think. It's stuff the government knows about because they have files on magic. MAJIC _ Okay? That's the oath. I'm telling you. And I'm just doing a business out of it. The CIA released the coherence thing. Guys, it's just a TV show. Relax.